Please,
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I would like to thank personally Mr. Valery Angel for his kind invitation, the organizing forum for this event. I am a PhD student at the University of Panteion in Athens for political sciences, and I receive a partial scholarship from the Foundation for Education and European Culture in Athens. My presentation is an attempt to comprehend the phenomenon of refugees problem in Greece by examining the past developments, the political dimension of its management, and the current challenges related to it. I will attempt to shed light on the nuances of the situation so as to provide some insights for the incoming future. Greece has undoubtedly been at the forefront of the two major crises of the past couple of years. In the first place, Greece experienced an uncontrollable debt crisis, and amidst the economic crisis, Greece experienced the refugee crisis. Certainly, the two crises are independent from each other, but they're intermingled and produced some unprecedented social, economic, political consequences. During 2014, and particularly in 2015, since Greece became main point of entry into Europe, the situation evolved rapidly, with arrivals in the Greek islands increasing 20 times from just over 2,000 approximately in 2013 to over 42,000 in 2014. They further increased, reaching a peak in the summer of 2015 of 1 million people, passing to Europe with a national predominance of Syrian people accounting for 65% of all registered arrivals. After the EU-Turkey agreement to stem the flow of refugees in March 2016, their numbers have been significantly reduced. Nowadays, Greece hosts a total of 60,000 of refugees distributed in the mainland in different accommodation facilities. These are the refugees that are not under the EU-Turkey agreement, and they came in Greece prior to the deal. In the context of Dublin II regulation, they will remain in Greece as the first European country. Parallelly with this group of refugees, there exists another group of migrants and refugees that in the context of EU-Turkey agreement have to be deported in Turkey, where they can apply for relocation to Europe. To briefly recapitulate, Greece, from a transit point in the migratory route, became a country hosting refugees that need now an elaborate plan of integration in the Greek society, different from the political management of previous years. Indeed, irrespective of the different political parties being in government, the politics towards refugees has been quite unfriendly. During the first stage of austerity, during 2010-2014, PASOK, Socialist Party, and New Democracy, a conservative party, pursued a deterrence campaign by degrading the conditions of reception and detention. The only responsibility Greece has today is to keep refugees alive and silently let them across the country. After the leftist party Syriza came in power in January 2015 and formed a coalition government with populist radical right-wing party of independent Greeks, ANEL, it was promised to radically overhaul the Greece immigration policy by closing migrant detention centers with dubious living conditions, such as happened in Amygdaleza in the region of Attica in Athens. The main problem, however, was what happened in reality when the state had to be functioning well and the policymakers had to elaborate a management plan solution. In the course of the past 2 years, the issue of refugees has been characterized by a profound exercise of contradictions and distance from the proclaimed progressive agenda of the party. Some EU member states from Central Europe accused Greek authorities of having hastily relocated refugees to the north of the country, pushing them to Europe. From the other side, some political analysts in Europe accused Greece of intentionally smuggling migrants to Europe as a pressure means for achieving better restructuring of their debt. Besides this, until the issue of refugees be arranged with the EU-Turkey agreement, the Greek state will present a distinct weakness, both in terms of communication with NATO and Frontex services to patrol the sea border with Turkey, in terms of its operational capacity, to create hotspots for the hospitality of the refugees and the management of these centers. The big winner of these deficiencies presented by the Greek government was Golden Dawn being present in all the problematic points and offering a sense of security to the inhabitants. When the problem transformed into humanitarian crisis, for example, as happened in Idomeni, they attempted to switch the debate into others' responsibilities, particularly to some journalistic circles. However, the most important thing during this time, in the words of Vice President of the International Federation for Human Rights, Dimitris Christopoulos, is that the Greek people, in their desperation and social anguish, ceased to view refugees as the scapegoat. This could be a result of Syriza's shifting of the rhetorical tone, or the heartbreaking images of drowned kids, or the understanding that previous policies would result in a massive genocide. If the Greek state had not changed its agenda, Greece's attitude would resemble Hungary's, and the European Union would publicly chastise Greece. Syriza changed the tone and language involving migration in an attempt to decriminalize refugees. This was achieved first and foremost by rhetorically distinguishing migrants from refugees. Recent research has shown that people hold more positive attitudes towards the refugees, but this in the long run cannot be the rule as long as the government has no strategy for their integration. Thank you very much.